Welcome to Divorces in North Carolina, Sandra Dinkins. Have you ever wondered why people get divorced? It's a question that often lingers in our minds, isn't it? Divorce, the dissolution of a marriage, is a prevalent phenomenon in our society, cutting across cultures, continents, and communities. But have you ever stopped to ponder what fuels this decision? Indeed, divorce is not a simple black and white issue. It's a complex and multifaceted one, with a myriad of reasons lurking behind the curtain. From a lack of commitment or compatibility to infidelity, from the absence of family support to the scarcity of intimacy, from an abundance of conflict to a deluge of financial stress, and even cultural and religious differences, the reasons are as diverse as they are complicated. Yet understanding these reasons can help us navigate the intricate labyrinth of human relationships, and perhaps even prevent some of these marital breakdowns. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. So let's delve into this sensitive topic and try to understand why people decide to divorce. Meet Sarah and Tom, a couple who seem perfect for each other on the surface. Warm smiles, shared laughter, and common interests painted an idyllic picture of their relationship. However, beneath this veneer of happiness, a crucial element was missing: commitment. Their story began like many others. They met, fell in love, and decided to build a life together. They shared dreams of a bright future, but as time went on, those dreams started to diverge. Sarah, an ambitious entrepreneur, was fully engrossed in her startup. She was passionate about her work and often spent long hours at the office, leaving little time for her personal life. On the other hand, Tom, an avid traveler, longed for adventure and exploration. He wished Sarah would join him on his journeys, but her commitments to her business often held her back. If you are getting value from this video, consider subscribing. As the years passed, Sarah and Tom's lives started to revolve around their individual interests rather than their shared goals as a couple. The distance between them grew. Conversations became less frequent, dinners together became a rarity, and their shared dreams slowly faded away. The connection they once had was crumbling, and their lack of commitment to each other was at the heart of it. Sarah and Tom's case is not unique. Many couples find themselves in similar situations where they begin to prioritize their individual interests over the needs of their relationship. This lack of commitment often stems from an inability to compromise, to find a balance between individual desires and shared dreams. Without this balance, without this commitment, a relationship can easily falter. In the end, their lack of commitment to each other led to their divorce. Sarah and Tom's story serves as a reminder that commitment is not just about being there for the good times. It's about sticking together through the challenges, about prioritizing the relationship over individual desires, and about fostering a shared vision for the future. Commitment is the glue that holds a relationship together, and without it, even the most seemingly perfect couples can fall apart. Share this video with someone who is experiencing the trauma of divorce. If you are getting value from this video, please subscribe. Now, let's talk about Jane and Mark, whose marriage crumbled due to infidelity. Jane and Mark were seemingly the picture-perfect couple. High school sweethearts, they married young, built a beautiful life together, and were blessed with 2 healthy, happy children. Everyone in their community admired them. They were the epitome of a successful, loving partnership. But as is often the case, what was visible on the surface didn't reflect the turmoil lurking beneath. Mark, an ambitious businessman, frequently traveled for work. Initially, Jane trusted him implicitly, having no reason to doubt his fidelity. However, as the years passed, Mark's frequent absences and increasingly secretive behavior began to raise suspicions. Jane often found herself lying awake at night, riddled with anxiety, wondering where her husband was and what he was doing. One day, Jane's worst fears were confirmed. A close friend, hesitant and with a heavy heart, revealed that Mark had been having an affair. The news hit Jane like a freight train, leaving her feeling betrayed, hurt, and lost. The man she had loved and trusted had broken the sacred vow they had made to each other. Despite her devastation, Jane made an attempt to salvage their marriage. They sought counseling, hoping to rebuild the trust that had been shattered. But the damage had been done. Mark's infidelity had left a chasm in their relationship that they couldn't bridge. The betrayal was too deep, the pain too raw. Despite their shared history and the family they had built together, Jane made the heart-wrenching decision to file for divorce. Their story is not unique. Infidelity is, sadly, a common cause for divorce. The breach of trust it involves often leaves relationships irreparable, causing immense emotional distress for all parties involved. It serves as a stark reminder that maintaining trust and open communication are crucial for the health and longevity of a relationship. Infidelity, as painful as it is a common reason for divorce. Meet Lisa and John, a couple who couldn't overcome their financial stress. They were high school sweethearts, sharing dreams of a beautiful home, children, and a comfortable life. But when reality set in, their dreams were overshadowed by mounting bills and financial instability. Lisa was a schoolteacher, passionate about her job but earning a modest income. John, an aspiring artist, struggled to sell his work. Their combined income was barely enough to cover their basic needs. Despite their love for each other, the constant worry about money began to cause tension between them. Their financial challenges started with small disagreements about where to spend and where to save. Lisa wanted to invest in their home, while John believed in investing in his art. These disagreements grew into heated arguments, with each blaming the other for their financial woes. As the debt piled up, so did their stress. Lisa felt overwhelmed, working overtime to keep them afloat. John felt guilty, unable to contribute as much as he wanted to. Their conversations, once filled with shared dreams, were now dominated by talks of money, bills, and debt. The financial stress took a toll on their relationship. Their connection began to fray as they each felt misunderstood and unsupported by the other. They started to drift apart, their love and respect for each other eroded by the constant worry and tension. Attempts at financial planning and budgeting only led to more disagreements. The couple, once united in love, was now divided by their financial stress. They were no longer Lisa and John, the high school sweethearts. They were Lisa and John, the couple drowning in debt. In the end, their marriage couldn't withstand the financial stress. Their dreams of a beautiful home and a comfortable life were replaced by the harsh reality of their financial struggles. They filed for divorce, their love story ending not because of lost love, but because of their inability to manage financial stress together. Financial stress can put a huge strain on a marriage, often leading to divorce. It's a sad truth that money problems can tear apart even the most loving couples. For Lisa and John, their financial stress was a battle they couldn't win, and it cost them their marriage. Consider the case of Anna and Ali, whose cultural and religious differences became insurmountable. Anna, a Christian woman from the United States, and Ali, a Muslim man from Pakistan, fell in love and decided to build a life together, believing that love would bridge their cultural and religious differences. However, as their relationship progressed, they realized that these differences were not so easily bridged. They found themselves at odds over fundamental aspects of their lives, from dietary restrictions and holiday celebrations to child-rearing practices and prayer routines. While they both started their journey with an open mind, they soon discovered that their deeply ingrained beliefs and traditions were not so easily compromised or changed. Anna felt increasingly isolated as she tried to adapt to Ali's customs and traditions. She struggled with fasting during Ramadan and found it challenging to fully participate in the religious practices that were so integral to Ali's life. Simultaneously, Ali found it hard to relate to Anna's celebration of Christmas and Easter and her Sunday church rituals. The couple also faced external pressures from their respective families, who found it difficult to accept their partner's different cultural and religious background. Anna's family was not comfortable with her converting to Islam, while Ali's family had expectations of Anna that were steeped in their cultural norms. This external pressure further deepened the divide between them, making it even harder to find common ground. Despite their best efforts, Anna and Ali's cultural and religious differences became a chasm they couldn't bridge. They realized that their love for each other was not enough to overcome the deep-seated differences that existed between them. They ultimately decided to part ways, both acknowledging that their cultural and religious differences were a primary cause of their split. In conclusion, cultural and religious differences can sometimes be a major cause of divorce. While love may initially bring two people together, navigating the complexities of different cultural and religious backgrounds can be a challenging and sometimes insurmountable task. As we've seen through these case studies, there are many reasons why people get divorced. Let's take a moment to recap and reflect on the main reasons we've discussed in the video. Firstly, a lack of commitment can be a significant factor leading to divorce. When one or both partners are not fully invested in the relationship, it can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, resentment, and ultimately, separation. It's vital to remember that commitment is not just about saying "I do" at the altar, but it's about the daily choice to love, support, and stick by your partner through thick and thin. Infidelity is another major reason that can shatter the trust in a relationship. When a partner engages in an extramarital affair, it can cause an irreparable rift, leading to a breakdown of the relationship. It's important to note that infidelity is often a symptom of deeper issues within the relationship, like lack of intimacy or emotional disconnect. Financial stress can also be a significant strain on a marriage. Disagreements over money, debt, spending habits, or financial goals can create tension and lead to conflict. Open and honest communication about finances is crucial to avoid such issues. Lastly, cultural and religious differences can play a critical role in marital discord. When spouses come from different cultural or religious backgrounds, it can lead to misunderstandings, disagreements, and sometimes disapproval from family members. It's essential for couples in such situations to engage in open dialogue, understand each other's perspectives, and find a middle ground. It's important to stress that these are not the only reasons for divorce, and every case is unique. There are countless factors that can contribute to the end of a marriage. Understanding these factors can help us empathize with those going through a divorce and perhaps even help us strengthen our own relationships. Divorce is a complex and personal decision that impacts many lives. It's a decision that's never taken lightly. It's a path treaded upon when all other avenues seem blocked, when the road to resolution appears to have vanished into thin air. Understanding the reasons behind divorce can be akin to unraveling the threads of a complex tapestry, each strand representing a unique factor contributing to the final outcome. We've explored some of these threads today, shedding light on a few of the most common reasons behind divorces in North Carolina: a lack of commitment, infidelity, financial stress, and cultural and religious differences. Each of these represents a challenge that, if not addressed, can lead to the dissolution of a marriage. A lack of commitment can be like a slow leak in a tire, gradually deflating the connection between two people until there's nothing left but a flat and lifeless relationship. Infidelity, on the other hand, can be more like a sudden blowout, causing a relationship to spin out of control in an instant. Financial stress can add an immense burden, turning a partnership into a tug-of-war. And cultural and religious differences can create a chasm, a divide that seems too vast to bridge. Understanding these reasons is not about placing blame or pointing fingers. It's about empathy. It's about realizing that behind every divorce, there's a story of two people who once loved each other but found themselves unable to navigate the challenges they faced. It's about acknowledging that sometimes, despite the best of intentions, relationships break down. But this understanding should not lead to despair. Rather, it should inspire us to work on our own relationships, to communicate better, to show more patience, to be more forgiving, to seek help when needed, to strive for a balance between individuality and togetherness, to respect and accept our differences, to build bridges rather than walls, to remember that love in its truest form is not just about feeling good, but also about growing together in good times and in bad. We should also remember that a divorce is not an end but a new beginning. It's an opportunity for two people to find happiness independently, to heal and to grow. It's a chance to learn from past experiences and to apply these lessons in their future relationships. It's a step towards a happier, healthier life. Moreover, understanding the reasons behind divorce can help us to be more compassionate and supportive of those going through this process. It can help us to be better friends, better family members, better colleagues. It can help us to replace judgment with understanding, criticism with empathy, and indifference with kindness. In conclusion, divorce is a chapter in the book of life that no one wishes to read, but at times becomes inevitable. It's a complex process that involves a lot of emotional turmoil, but it also paves the way for personal growth and new beginnings. Understanding the reasons behind divorce can help us to empathize with those going through it and to work on our own relationships. It can help us to be more compassionate, more understanding, and more kind. While divorce is a difficult process, it is sometimes the best choice for a couple. Let's remember to approach this topic with understanding and compassion. As we navigate the complex tapestry of life, let's remember to be kind, to be understanding, and to be compassionate. For at the end of the day, we are all just trying to find our way, to find happiness, and to find love. And sometimes the path to these things takes a turn we never expected. Before we delve into more case studies, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned so far. It's important to remember that while we're discussing the reasons behind divorce, our intention is not to create fear or distrust. Instead, we aim to foster understanding and awareness, to highlight the importance of communication, mutual respect, and empathy in maintaining a healthy relationship. Now, we would love to hear from you. Are you comfortable sharing your thoughts on the topics we've discussed so far? Have you or someone you know experienced these challenges in a relationship? How did you navigate through them? And if you're comfortable sharing, what did you learn from the experience? Remember, your story might be the light that someone else needs to navigate through their own darkness. So don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. In the next scene, we will explore another common reason for divorce: incompatibility, a factor that often gets overlooked in the initial stages of a relationship, but can become a significant hurdle as time passes. But for now, let's pause, reflect, and engage. Remember, the strength of our community lies in our shared experiences, our collective wisdom, and our mutual support. So let's take a moment to connect, to share, and to learn from each other. Moving forward in our journey of understanding, let's unfold another chapter in the saga of divorce, the case of marrying too young. In this scene, we'll introduce you to Lily and Ben, two individuals whose hearts intertwined at a tender age, leading them to make a decision that would later prove to be a turning point in their lives. Lily and Ben, high school sweethearts, decided to marry right after graduation, believing that their profound love for each other was enough to overcome any obstacles that life might throw at them. However, as their individual dreams and ambitions began to take shape, a divergence emerged. Lily, with her aspirations of a career in law, found herself increasingly engrossed in her studies, while Ben, a budding entrepreneur, was consumed by his business ventures. Their paths, which once seemed so entwined, began to diverge. The strain on their relationship became more evident with each passing day, as they grappled with the realization that their decision to marry young had, perhaps, hindered their understanding of each other's evolving dreams and aspirations. Lily and Ben's story serves as a poignant reminder that while love is a critical ingredient in the recipe of marriage, it is not the only one. Join us in the next scene as we delve deeper into their story, exploring the implications of their decision, the challenges they faced, and the lessons they learned. As we continue unraveling the complexities of divorce, let's remember that every story, every experience, and every decision can serve as a stepping stone towards greater understanding and empathy. Let us continue our exploration into the complex and often heartbreaking reasons behind divorce. In this scene, we bring you the story of Rachel and Mike, a couple whose marriage was caught in the destructive crossfire of addiction. Rachel, a vibrant and charismatic woman, found herself ensnared in the grip of a substance addiction that slowly began to overshadow her personality, her dreams, and her relationship with Mike. Despite the love and the bond they shared, the growing shadow of addiction began to cast a pall over their lives. Mike, a devoted partner, found himself in the unenviable position of watching helplessly as the woman he loved spiraled deeper into her addiction. Tirelessly, he sought help for Rachel, from counseling to rehabilitation centers, but the insidious nature of addiction only seemed to tighten its grip. The strain on their marriage was palpable. Arguments became frequent, trust began to erode, and the joy they once shared was replaced by a looming sense of despair. Despite their best efforts, the destructive winds of addiction proved too strong, leading to the eventual dissolution of their marriage. Rachel and Mike's story serves as a stark reminder of the devastating impact addiction can have on a relationship, tearing apart even the strongest of bonds. As we prepare to delve into the next case study, let's remember that while love can conquer many things, it sometimes falls short in the face of certain challenges. Let's remember that understanding, empathy, and support are crucial in the face of such struggles, and that every story, every struggle, and every person deserves compassion and empathy. In the next chapter of our exploration, we turn our attention to Laura and Sam, a couple whose union was marred by the sinister specter of domestic violence. Laura, a resilient woman with a loving heart, found herself trapped in a cycle of abuse at the hands of Sam, her husband. What began as a relationship filled with love and promise soon took a dark turn as Sam's unpredictable behavior and violent tendencies surfaced. Despite Laura's attempts to seek help and Sam's hollow promises of change, the violence continued, casting a dark shadow over their lives. The home that was once a haven of love and warmth transformed into a prison of fear and terror for Laura. The consistent pattern of abuse and violence began to erode the foundations of their marriage, replacing love with fear, trust with trepidation. With immense courage, Laura took the painful but necessary step towards freedom. She filed for divorce. Their story emphasizes the importance of recognizing and addressing domestic violence, reinforcing the fact that a marriage built on fear and violence is unsustainable. It serves as a stark reminder that love should never be a license for abuse, and that everyone deserves a relationship built on respect, love, and equality. As we transition into our next case study, let's remember that every person has the right to live free from violence and fear, and that seeking help in the face of abuse is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to strength and courage. Continuing our journey through these sobering narratives, we now delve into the story of Amy and Rob, a tale where emotional and sexual abuse led to the dissolution of their marriage. Amy, a vibrant woman with a compassionate heart, found herself embroiled in an abusive relationship with Rob, her husband. What was once a bond of love and trust gradually turned into a nightmare as Rob's manipulative behavior and sexual aggression surfaced. Amy, trying her best to salvage the relationship, sought help from therapists, counselors, and support groups. Despite her efforts, the abuse persisted, causing profound damage to her mental and emotional well-being. The trauma inflicted by Rob was so severe that it eventually led to their divorce. Their story serves as a wake-up call about the harrowing reality of emotional and sexual abuse within a marriage. It underscores the importance of recognizing and confronting abuse, and reiterates that no person should endure such harmful treatment in a relationship. Remember, a marriage should be a sanctuary of love and respect, not a breeding ground for abuse and fear. As we move forward to our next case study, let's bear in mind that seeking help is an act of bravery, and that everyone deserves a relationship characterized by mutual respect, love, and emotional safety. As we continue our exploration of the complex reasons that lead to divorce, we turn to the case of Olivia and Matt. Olivia and Matt were once a couple who radiated love and affection for each other. They were inseparable, their lives deeply intertwined. However, as the years passed, the flame of their love started to flicker and fade. Their conversations became less frequent, their shared laughter less hearty, their intimate moments less passionate. It was not the result of a sudden catastrophic event, but rather the slow, almost imperceptible erosion of their emotional connection. They found that they were staying together more out of habit and convenience than out of love. The once vibrant bond that they shared had gradually transformed into a more platonic relationship, devoid of the warmth and affection that once defined it. The absence of love and emotional connection became increasingly apparent, leading them to the painful realization that their marriage was no longer fulfilling. They were merely coexisting instead of truly living and loving. This lack of love and emotional connection led them to choose divorce, a decision they believed was essential for their individual happiness and well-being. Their story is a stark reminder of the importance of maintaining love and emotional connection within a marriage. It underscores the fact that love is not just a feeling but an action, a daily choice to connect, to understand, to forgive, to appreciate. It serves as a poignant reminder that love, in all its complexity and beauty, requires constant nurturing and renewal. As we move forward with our exploration of the intricacies of divorce, let's remember Olivia and Matt's story and the importance of keeping the flame of love alive in our relationships. Our journey into the intricate reasons for divorce continues with the case of Hannah and Alex. Hannah was diagnosed with a chronic illness early in their marriage. This medical challenge brought with it an array of changes that significantly impacted their relationship. The vibrant, carefree life that they once led was replaced by a routine dominated by doctor's appointments, medication schedules, and physical limitations. The illness, while physically affecting Hannah, had profound emotional and psychological impacts on both of them. Alex, though initially supportive, found it increasingly difficult to cope with the changes. He struggled to understand the depth and complexity of Hannah's condition and the strain it placed on their relationship. The lack of knowledge and understanding about the illness, coupled with the profound changes it brought, created a chasm between them. Their marriage, once characterized by shared dreams and aspirations, was now dominated by the harsh reality of a life-altering medical condition. The strain of the illness, the changes it brought, and the lack of understanding and support eventually led to the breakdown of their marriage. Hannah and Alex's story emphasizes the importance of emotional resilience, understanding, and strong support systems in maintaining a healthy relationship, especially in the face of a life-altering medical condition. It serves as a stark reminder that love, in all its forms, requires patience, understanding, and the ability to adapt to life's unexpected turns. As we delve deeper into the complex and multifaceted reasons behind divorce, let's remember Hannah and Alex's story and the profound impact that a medical condition can have on a relationship. In the light of understanding, let's dive a little deeper and explore another common thread in the tapestry of divorce: incompatibility. Let's consider the story of Emily and Jack, two individuals whose paths crossed and intertwined only to unravel later due to their incompatible nature. Initially, their differences seemed insignificant, overshadowed by the intense attraction they felt for each other. Emily, an art enthusiast with a love for quiet reflection and solitude, found herself drawn to Jack's outgoing personality and his passion for outdoor activities. Jack, on the other hand, was intrigued by Emily's introspective nature and her appreciation for the finer things in life. However, as the honeymoon phase of their relationship faded, their contrasting personalities and interests began to surface more prominently. Emily's need for quiet and solitude clashed with Jack's love for social gatherings and adventure. Their differing interests led to frequent disagreements and a growing sense of dissatisfaction. Over time, they realized that their differences were not just surface-level preferences, but represented deeper, fundamental incompatibilities. They found themselves unable to align their lifestyles, their values, and their visions for the future. The realization that they were, in essence, incompatible eventually led to their divorce. This case study of Emily and Jack highlights how incompatibility, though often overlooked in the initial stages of a relationship, can become a significant reason for divorce. It underscores the importance of understanding and accepting not just the similarities, but also the differences in a relationship. It reminds us that love, in its truest form, involves not just attraction but also acceptance, not just passion but also patience, not just romance but also reality. As we navigate through the complex tapestry of life and love, let's remember to acknowledge and respect our differences, to strive for understanding and acceptance, and to remember that sometimes, despite the best of intentions, some threads are just not meant to intertwine. Moving forward, let's unfold another chapter in the saga of divorce, the case of marrying too young. Allow me to introduce you to Lily and Ben. Their story is a testament to the perils of rushing into marriage without fully understanding its implications. Charged with youthful enthusiasm and seemingly undying love, Lily and Ben took the plunge and tied the knot at a tender age. They believed that their love for each other was enough to weather any storm that life might throw at them. However, as they journeyed together through the labyrinth of life, they began to evolve as individuals. Their dreams and ambitions started to diverge, leading them on different paths. Lily discovered her passion for humanitarian work and longed for a life of service and travel. Ben, on the other hand, aspired to settle down and lay the foundations for a business empire. Their conflicting aspirations began to strain their relationship. The chasm between their dreams widened with time, and they found themselves at odds with each other more often than not. Eventually, they reached a point where they had to confront the harsh reality. Their decision to marry too young had not given them the opportunity to fully understand their individual aspirations and life goals. This realization eventually led to their divorce. Lily and Ben's story serves as a poignant reminder that while love is a critical ingredient in the recipe of marriage, it is not the only one. It teaches us that maturity, understanding, and the readiness to compromise and adapt are equally important. It impresses upon us the fact that marrying too young can sometimes lead to divorce as individuals grow, change, and come into their own. Continuing our exploration into the various reasons for divorce, we delve into the case of Rachel and Mike, a couple whose marriage was ravaged by the destructive winds of addiction. Rachel, a vibrant and vivacious woman, found herself ensnared in the web of substance abuse. Her struggle with addiction cast a dark shadow over their relationship, leaving Mike feeling helpless and distressed. Mike, a loving and devoted husband, made tireless attempts to help Rachel. He stood by her side, offering her the support she needed to overcome her addiction. However, despite his best efforts, Rachel's addiction only intensified, becoming an insurmountable wall between them. The constant tension and the debilitating impact of the addiction started chipping away at the foundation of their marriage. Rachel's struggle with substance abuse not only affected her physical and mental health, but also strained their relationship to the point of breaking. Their story takes a tragic turn as Mike, despite his love for Rachel, finds himself unable to bear the burden of her addiction. The love and commitment that once bound them together were overshadowed by the specter of Rachel's addiction, leading them down the path of divorce. Rachel and Mike's story is a stark reminder of how addiction can be a destructive force in a marriage. It underscores the fact that while love and commitment are vital, they may not always be enough to withstand the corrosive effects of addiction. Their story serves as a lesson to us all that addiction can lead to divorce, tearing apart even the strongest of bonds. In the next chapter of our exploration, we turn our attention to Laura and Sam, a couple whose union was marred by the sinister specter of domestic violence. Laura, a kind-hearted and resilient woman, found herself trapped in a cycle of abuse at the hands of her husband, Sam. Sam's violent behavior, fueled by uncontrolled anger and resentment, turned their home into a battleground. Despite Laura's repeated attempts to seek help, to mend the wounds of their relationship, the violence continued unabated. Counselors, therapists, and mediators were engaged, but Sam's rage remained a constant, destructive force in their lives. The relentless cycle of hostility and aggression transformed their marriage into a toxic environment, pushing Laura to the brink. The final blow came when Laura, after years of enduring the abuse, mustered the courage to file for divorce. The primary reason for their separation was, without a doubt, domestic violence. The ordeal that Laura and Sam went through is a grim reminder of the devastating impact domestic violence can have on a marriage. It is a serious issue that plagues countless marriages around the world, often leading to divorce. Their story emphasizes the importance of recognizing and addressing domestic violence, reinforcing the fact that a marriage built on fear and violence is unsustainable. As we reflect on Laura and Sam's story, let's remember that love should never hurt and violence should never be tolerated. Continuing our journey through these sobering narratives, we now delve into the story of Amy and Rob, a tale where emotional and sexual abuse led to the dissolution of their marriage. Amy, a vivacious and independent woman, found herself in the painful clutches of emotional and sexual abuse inflicted by her husband, Rob. Rob's actions, driven by his twisted perception of power and control, turned their marital bond into a prison. Amy sought help numerous times, enlisting the assistance of therapists, counselors, and support groups, but to no avail. The abuse, like a dark cloud, hung over their relationship, poisoning their interactions and turning their home into a house of horrors. The abuse was not only the main reason for their divorce, but it also served as a harsh wake-up call about the grim reality of emotional and sexual abuse within a marriage. Their story is a stark reminder of the severe damage such abuse can inflict on a relationship, often leading to divorce. As we reflect on Amy and Rob's distressing journey, it's crucial to understand that emotional and sexual abuse are serious issues that must be confronted head-on. Remember, a marriage should be a sanctuary of love and respect, not a breeding ground for abuse and fear. As we continue our exploration of the complex reasons that lead to divorce, we turn to the case of Olivia and Matt. Once deeply in love, they found that over time, their feelings for each other had faded into something more akin to friendship than romantic love. They lived together, shared responsibilities, and even laughed together, but the spark that once ignited their hearts had gradually extinguished. In the quiet moments, when the laughter had faded and the chores were done, they found themselves staring at each other across the room, feeling a profound sense of emptiness. It was as if they were merely coexisting, living parallel lives under the same roof. They realized they were staying together out of habit and convenience, not out of love. This lack of love, the absence of that deep emotional connection that once bound them together, led them to a painful decision. They chose to divorce, believing it to be the best step forward for both of them. It was a difficult decision, but one they felt was necessary for their individual happiness and emotional well-being. As we reflect on Olivia and Matt's journey, we see how lack of love can be a significant reason for divorce. Love is the foundation upon which a marriage is built, and without it, the structure can crumble. Their story is a stark reminder of the importance of maintaining love and emotional connection within a marriage. Our journey into the intricate reasons for divorce continues with the case of Hannah and Alex. Both were strong, independent individuals who prided themselves on their ability to handle life's challenges. However, when Hannah was diagnosed with a chronic illness, their relationship was put to the ultimate test. The physical and emotional toll of the illness was immense, and Hannah needed Alex's support more than ever. But Alex, despite his best intentions, struggled to cope with the harsh reality of Hannah's condition. The illness brought along a sea of changes, frequent hospital visits, mounting medical bills, and the constant worry about Hannah's health. The stress and strain of the situation began to create cracks in their once solid relationship. Arguments ensued, mostly about Alex's perceived lack of support and understanding. Hannah felt alone in her struggle, while Alex felt overwhelmed by the sudden shift in their lives. The situation was further complicated by the financial strain caused by Hannah's medical expenses. Despite attempts to salvage their relationship, the strain caused by the illness and the resulting conflicts proved too much for their marriage to withstand. Ultimately, they decided to part ways, citing Hannah's medical illness as a significant reason for their divorce. This case study illustrates how medical illnesses can sometimes lead to divorce due to the strain they put on a relationship. The challenges that come with a severe medical condition can test the strength of a marriage, and if not managed well, can lead to its breakdown. Hannah and Alex's story emphasizes the importance of emotional resilience, understanding, and strong support systems in maintaining a healthy relationship, especially in the face of a life-altering medical condition.